Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be a quick little get ready with me video. I don't know why it looks so easy for all these other girls to do, like get ready with me videos, and it just seems so seamless. But listen, baby, the setup for these videos are TDS. But anyways, this video is not about complaining about how hard it is to set up to film. This video is going to be about my Nclex experience. Alright, so I took the Nclex back in September. I graduated in July, for those of you who don't know. And the reason why it took me so long to take my Nclex is because I still owe my school money. At graduation, those MFers gave everyone their degree, but they gave me a parking decal. Like, that pain was something different when everybody was looking at their degrees and taking pictures with their degrees. I had a car decal. That was that hurt. So, but what it was also was motivation, honey. Like, it made me get to my motherfucking grind, alright? I got on my grind and got that money up to pay them all so that I could take my Nclex. But the process after was so seamless. Like, I paid my tuition, and after paying my tuition, they sent me to the board of nursing like that same day. And within 2 weeks of me getting sent to the board of nursing, I received my ATT, which is from Pearson VUE. And Pearson VUE is the company that actually gives you the nursing exam. The board of nursing does like a background check to make sure that you can actually test for it. And then they give Pearson VUE the go ahead to let you take your boards. And then you have to pay Pearson VUE money to come to them to take the test. So you have to pay the board of nursing and you have to pay Pearson VUE. So I had to pay Galen, the board of nursing, and Pearson VUE. Like, a bitch was out here giving coins away to these people, like mad coinage. Alright, so I paid them, and then they gave me my ATT where I can actually go on. They give you like a little monthly calendar, and you pick what city you want to take your test in, and they give you the availability for that city for that month. And y'all already know I live in Central Florida, so it would have been beneficial for me to either go to Tampa or Orlando, but I was fortunate enough to where they have opened up a new testing site here locally in my city, so I didn't have to commute anywhere. I literally was 15 minutes away from my house. So what your girl did was I set a date, and the date I had originally set was for like the 3rd of September, but that same week, what was his name? It was a hurricane coming, and it was predicted to be like a category 5 hurricane, and that it was supposed to come right up Central Florida and mess us up. So I ran back on the website and I rescheduled my date. But I guess because this is not like a popular season for Nclex, I think the Nclex is popular in the summertime and in like the winter time, because that is when like the major universities and stuff, like when they'll be graduating between like April and December. So those are when they have like unlimited time to test. But since I'm taking my shit in the middle of September, it was only like 2 days for the whole month. So it pushed me back 3 whole weeks. I took it the last week of September. Well, it couldn't have been the last week. It had to be like mid-September because it's just the 1st of October. But anyway, so they pushed me back like 2 weeks to take my test. And that kind of gave me like so much anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry up and take this shit. Like, I'm tired. I'm ready to see the fruits of my labor. Like, I have been studying for 2 whole years to get to this point. Like, I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to actually have a physical proof of all that I have been sacrificing for. So I decided that I'm gonna crank up my studying. When I actually set my date, I started studying like 100 questions a day. I kid you not. I just did 100 questions a day. And then I know they say that you're not supposed to study the day of. I did study. Oh no, you're not supposed to study the day of, and the day before you're just supposed to do something relaxing. So I actually did study the day before, but I got my 100 questions out of the way because my test wasn't until 2 o'clock. So I made sure I got my studying done like in the morning. So by 2 p.m., I was at the movies, honey, drinking a frozen daiquiri, watching Hustle, or Hustlers, that, you know, that movie that came out with Jennifer Lopez where they were strippers. I went to Red Lobster because they got the unlimited shrimp fest. That's what I did the night before. The morning of, because my test wasn't until 2 p.m., I got up, I went to the park, I walked, I ran a little bit to blow off my anxiety. And then I came back home, I ate breakfast, I took a shower, I beat my face to the gods. I dropped my son off to the babysitter, aka my mom, and then I drove over there. The whole ride over there, I'm bumping Nipsey Hussle, like Dedication, Victory Lap. I was like, you know what, girl? This is the sum of your sacrifices. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you heard what I've been saying. Dedication.
Look, my nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. This is a real nigga celebration.
It really took dedication for me to get to this point. So, you know, I had to like tell myself, you know what, Kristen? Win, lose, or draw. Bitch, you did that. Like, you stayed the course. You trusted the process, and now you're here. So don't beat yourself up. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Walk into this place and own it. When you get there, you can't bring nothing in. Like, you're not supposed to bring in cell phones. You're not supposed to bring in anything but your license and your ID. You can't even have like an Apple Watch. You have to have just license and ID. Up to the little lady, and they have this little thing where they scan your palm, and that's how they know who you are. So they register your palm on the little machine, and then you go back to the back or whatever, and they scanned you again. Like, they give you your locker key, and that's where you will lock up your ID. And no, you keep your ID. That's where you lock up your keys or whatever you may have bring in. Some people might bring in like their wallet and stuff, because I don't know, I just left mine in the car. But anyway, so that's where I locked up my keys. And I went to the back where the testing room is, and it was like a room of like 17 computers, and it was already 4 people inside testing when I got there. So they were like, oh, well, your testing time is at 2 o'clock. I know it's 1 o'clock. Do you want to go in? Do you want to go in early? And I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to just go ahead and get this shit over with. So they let me in, and I went back. And they were like, well, you have to sit at this computer. I sat at the computer that they told me to sit at. And after sitting at the computer, I just took a deep breath and I prayed, and I said, you know what, Lord, let your will be done. I deem myself approved. Now let's knock out these 75 questions. For RN, you can get a minimum of 75 questions with a maximum of 265 questions. For LPN, you can get a minimum of like 85 questions and like a max of 230 or something. I can't really remember the exact number for LPNs, but I do know that when I went for my LPN, I was done at 85 questions. Like, I got the minimum amount for my LPN, so I was confident that I was going to be able to walk up out of this place with 75 questions. Bitch, that was not the case. I got all 265 questions. When I tell y'all I was in there shitting bricks after I reached like 100, I got to like 76. And when it hit 76, I like looked around and was like, are these people playing a joke on me? I ain't no 76 type of girl. I'm a 75 type of girl. Like, I'm a 75 and done type of girl. And like everybody in my school, like all my classmates had been getting on Facebook in the little, we have a school community that was made for the students, not by the school, but it was made by a student or whatever. So I was like, all of these people are saying they got 75 and done. And this shit just went over to 76. Like, y'all, I was shitting bricks. And so it just kept going. It just kept going. It just kept going. So when I got to like 115, I was going to take a break. But then I was like, you know what, Kristen? They want to see if you're a real G. And you're going to have to show them that you're a real G. Like, you do this nursing shit. Like, there ain't nothing to you. Just get your mind set. You're going to do the whole 265 questions. So I was talking myself up. But it didn't make matters any better that when I got to like question 80, someone was sat down in the seat next to me. And she was gone. I was like, she sat down after me. And she finished before me. I'm like, oh, hell no. They done gave this chick 75 questions. And they done gave me the whole thing. Like, y'all, I started getting so freaking scared. I was so scared. I was like, oh, Lord, I done came in these people's shit. I done played. I done got all these questions. And I'm a fail. Like, the whole time, as y'all can tell in this video, I was all over the place. Like, 1 minute, I was talking myself, bigging myself up. This eyebrow don't look the same. I was bigging myself up, talking myself up, telling myself that I'm that bitch. I do this nursing stuff. And then here come this chick after me. Finished before me, and I'm like, oh hell, I'm a liar. Who am I? You just a pretender. You ain't no nurse. You just a pretender. You a fraud. Like, y'all. I'm telling y'all this not to scare y'all, but to tell y'all, like, I legit was going through the motions in that place. Like, I was going through the motions. I didn't know what the hell to do. But anyway, so I got the question 265 and it finally shut off. But it didn't shut off because it didn't want me to sit in there. I was in there for 3 hours. 3 hours in that place doing that damn test. So when I walked out, they were like, oh, we got to scan your palm. Because, you know, they scan you when you come in and then they got to scan your palm when you leave out as well. So they scanned my palm, checked me out. I went to my car and I was like, fuck. I went in at 1 o'clock. I come out, it's 5:30. I done been in here for 4 hours. Last time for LPN, I was only in there for like 50 minutes. I wasn't in there no time. Whew, y'all. I was so scared. I thought I had failed. So I didn't do the Pearson View trick right away. I got home and I was talking to my mom. My mom was like, well, did you do the trick? I'm like, no, I didn't do the trick. So she was like, well, just do the trick because the trick is for real. So I did the Pearson View trick. And when I did the Pearson View trick the first time, because the way the Pearson View trick is, you go and you go back in through Pearson View as if you're going to register for your RN test. Like, you follow the prompts. But when it gets to the point where you will have to make a payment, it'll block you. The trick will say you cannot register for any more exams because you already have a registration in process. If you pass. If you fail, it's gonna take your $200 again. So you have to, it's like a gamble. It's like Russian roulette. If you got the $200 to spare, then it don't matter. But somebody like me who didn't have the $200 to spare, I was like, hell no, I can't afford to lose my $200 if I didn't pass this test today, because I already done spent so much money on doing all this shit to get it to this point the first time. So I did the Pearson View trick. The first time I did the Pearson View trick, it declined my payment because I put in an incorrect something. I put in incorrect. I was like, oh Lord, it really just tried to take my money. It really just hit my account. And it realized I put in the wrong digit. That's why it bounced back. So I was like, okay. Oh, it was the incorrect expiration date. Expiration date. So I doubled back and I put in the right expiration date. And then y'all, I got the good pop-up. It said you can't re-register because you already registered for this test. So I was like, oh yes. So this was on a Wednesday. Y'all, I could not sleep. I was up. I drank like 2, maybe 4 glasses of wine. And I was watching TV. Like, I was reading a book. I was trying to do everything in my power to go to sleep. Because when you take your exam in Florida, during the week, the next day, your license number be available when you pass. So, I was up since 5, like I finally fell asleep like around 1. And then I woke up again at 5:30 and I was checking. And it was like, oh, it just kept on popping up with my LPN and my CNA license. I was like, oh man. And then at 7:30, because at this point, like after 7 a.m., I was checking that shit every 30 minutes. Like I was refreshing every 30 minutes. So at 7:30, when I refreshed, boom, there it was. There it was. My registered nursing license number. And I actually went to work that same day and gave them my new license number. And life after getting my registered nurse, it has not been what I thought it would be. I thought that I would be, you know, like I would just see a total drastic change in my life. And as of right now, I'm still in the valley. I haven't reached the peak yet. Like I got dumped by my boyfriend. I'm still working at the nursing home I worked at as an LPN. I went to like a open house for one of the big hospitals down here, and they were like, oh, we're just here, but we already filled all the positions for this next like cohort of new nurse graduates. I mean, I've been putting in applications, like I've been doing 2 to 3 applications a day, and I haven't even gotten a call back yet. So I'm just pacing myself and just embracing that I don't have to stress anymore. I'm just trying to like keep it all together, remain optimistic. So if you're out there and you're about to take your Nclex, boo, I'm going to tell you, just stay confident, stay calm, and just know that you will be victorious like I was. And then make sure if you are in school, my advice would be have a job lined up before you take your Nclex so that you don't be like me. Now that I have my RN, still waiting for a job. The only reason why I didn't secure a job before is because I knew I still needed to pay Galen their money. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to get a job right then, because most people wanted you to have your license before you started. So I was like, I'm going to get a job after I'm going to apply for jobs after I pay off Galen, which was probably not the smartest thing for me to do. But nonetheless, it's what I did, and I'm weathering that storm, so I look forward to taking y'all on that journey for me getting my first real RN job. Ciao.